Okay. Um, Welcome to the Office of Tax Appeals. I want to thank everyone for attending today. My name is Josh Lambert, and I'm the lead administrative law judge for this hearing. My co-panelists today are Eddie Lamb and Asaf Kletter. All three of us on the panel will meet after the hearing and produce the written opinion as equal participants. Before we go on the record, I just want to discuss a couple of things. And also, since Mr. Persky didn't attend the pre-hearing conference, I'll just explain the process. I'll discuss some preliminary items, and then we'll go on the record. I'll confirm the issue and exhibits with the parties, and then the parties will have their opportunities to present their cases one at a time. I want to note that the Office of Tax Appeals is not a court, but an independent appeals body. The office is staffed by tax experts and is independent of the state's tax agencies. Also present is our stenographer, Ms. Alonzo, who is reporting this hearing verbatim. To ensure we have an accurate record, we ask that everyone speaks one at a time and that they do not speak over each other. Please state your name before you speak, which is important because some participants may only have an audio connection. Also, please mute your microphone if you're not speaking to avoid feedback and background noise. Also, these proceedings are being broadcast live, and any information shared on the screen is publicly viewable. When needed, Ms. Alonzo or the panel will stop the hearing process and ask for clarification. After the hearing, Ms. Alonzo will produce the official hearing transcript, which will be available on the Office of Tax Appeals website. Were there any, were there any questions before we go on the record? And Ms. Alonzo, are you ready? Okay. We are now on the record in the Office of Tax Appeals oral hearing for the appeal of Michael Persky, case number 2306135331. The date is August 13th, 2024, and the time is 9:31 a.m. My name is Josh Lambert, and I am the lead administrative law judge for this hearing, and my co-panelists today are Judge Lamb and Judge Kletter. FTB, could you please introduce yourselves for the record?
Yes, this is Tristan Thalhuber, and with me is Cynthia Kent on behalf of Franchise Tax Board.
Thank you. And for appellant, could you please introduce yourself for the record?
Yes, Michael Persky.
Hi. Thank you
Hello.
for attending, everyone. The issue in this appeal is whether appellant's claim for refund is barred by the statute of limitations. FTB provided exhibits A through D, and Mr. Persky, as stated in the order, you provided exhibits 1 through 5. Mr. Thalhuber, were there any objections to the exhibits?
No objections, thank you.
And Mr. Persky, did you have any objections to FTB's exhibits?
None.
Okay, thanks. That evidence is now on the record. And also, before we start your presentation, Mr. Persky, I was wondering if you wanted to testify as a witness when you're giving your presentation, just to have it be counting as witness testimony.
Yes.
Okay. And FTB, did you have any objections to that?
And no objections, thank you.
Okay. So, Mr. Persky, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay, thanks. So Mr. Persky, this is your opportunity to explain your position, and as stated in the order, you have 10 minutes, so you could proceed when you're ready, and provide what you have to say about this case. Thanks.
All righty. Thank you. Thank you to everybody for attending. My issue is that as of 2009, I left the state of California and was no longer a resident of California. I earned no income effectively from 2010 going forward, and I had no responsibility to file any state income taxes whatsoever. Sometime between me leaving and moving to Oregon and 2014, 15, I found out that California had filed taxes on my behalf and subsequently did a writ of execution and began collecting this tax liability by ways of levying bank accounts, safe deposit boxes, and so on. I then went ahead and filed taxes just because I wanted to reclaim the money. I filed the taxes for 2010, 11, 12, I think through 2017, proving that I didn't owe the state any income and requested a refund. The state of California refused to give me any refund. I provided facts that I didn't live in the state, I had no income, and that their collections was, in bad faith, and that they needed to return the money. And to this point, they've refused to do so. And that's all.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Persky. So now I'll turn to FTB. Did you have any questions for the witness?
No questions. Thank you.
Okay. This is Judge Lambert again. I'll now ask the panel if they have any questions. Judge Clutter, did you have any questions?
Good morning. This is Judge Clutter. No, I do not have any questions. Thank you.
Thanks. And Judge Lamb, did you have any questions?
This is Judge Lamb speaking. No questions. Thank you.
Okay, thanks. And this is Judge Lambert. I don't have any questions at this time. So we can move on to, and Mr. Persky, thanks. We'll move on to FTB's presentation for 10 minutes. So Mr. Dahlhuber, you can proceed when you're ready.
Thank you, Judge Lambert. Good morning, everyone. And again, this is Tristan Thalhuber on behalf of Franchise Tax Board. The issue in this appeal is whether the appellant has established that he filed a timely claim for refund for the 2010 tax year prior to the expiration of the statute of limitations. Unfortunately, the evidence will show that he did not as to the barred overpayments. Under the applicable section of the Revenue and Taxation Code, the general statute of limitations provides that the last day to file a claim for refund is the later of 4 years from the date the return was filed, if it was filed within the extended due date, which does not apply here. 4 years from the due date of the return without regard to extensions, or 1 year from the date of the overpayment. For the 2010 tax year, the 4-year statute of limitations expired before appellant filed his 2010 tax return, and the 1-year statute of limitations expired as to the remaining barred overpayment on appellant's 2010 tax year account. Appellant late filed his 2010 tax return on January 30th, 2023, well after the 4-year statute of limitations period had expired in 2015. All payments made within 1 year of the filing of appellant's 2010 tax return were refunded to him. All remaining payments were made prior to the 1-year statute of limitations. Therefore, the 1-year statute of limitations is unavailable to allow a refund of appellant's remaining overpayment for the 2010 tax year. Appellant contends that he did not earn any income in 2010 and that the overpayment is a result of FTB's collection action. However, when appellant failed to file a timely 2010 tax return or file a return in response to FTB's demand, FTB properly issued its NPA, which went final pursuant to law. As such, all collection action was done pursuant to this valid assessment, and it was appellant's failure to file a timely return claiming the refund prior to the expiration of the statute of limitations that resulted in the barred overpayment. Furthermore, the Office of Tax Appeals, in its precedential opinion in the appeal of Benamy Partners, found that the language of the statute of limitations is explicit and must be strictly construed. The United States Supreme Court in United States v. Dom explained that this is true even when it is later shown that the tax was not owed in the first place. Appellant has not provided any additional evidence that would allow FTB by law to grant his claim for refund. Therefore, FTB respectfully requests that the Office of Tax Appeals sustain the Franchise Tax Board's claim for refund denial for the 2010 tax year. Thank you, and I am happy to answer any questions.
This is Judge Lambert. Thank you, Mr. Thalhuber. So I'll turn to the panel now to see if they have any questions. Judge Clutter, did you have any questions?
This is Judge Clutter. No, I do not have any questions. Thank you.
Thanks. And Judge Lamb, did you have any questions?
This is Judge Lam speaking. No questions.
Thanks. And this is Judge Lambert. I have no questions either. So at this time, Mr. Persky, you can have 5 minutes for closing remarks or to respond to anything that had to be said, if you want to do that at this time.
Yeah, I did have a question for the state, if I may ask.
Sure. You could direct it to the panel and we'll ask FTB if that question. What is your question?
The question is, the way I understand it is I would have, or the taxpayer would have 4 years to try to reclaim the money back from the state. How long does the state have to try to collect the money?
FTB, if you wanted to respond to that, if you understood the question.
My understanding is how long the state has in order to collect the tax due. I believe it would be until the tax is fully collected.
This is Cynthia Kent for the Franchise Tax Board. I believe our collection statutes allow for a 20-year period.
Mr. Persky, did that answer your question or did you have anything else to add?
It answers my question. What I have to add is, I have 4 years to try to reclaim it from the state. And the way I'm understanding it is the state has one said indefinitely and the other said up to 20 years to collect it from us. Is that how I understand it? Or can they confirm, is it indefinitely or is it 20 years?
I'm not really sure. That'd have to be something that we'd have to look up more, but I believe FTB said it was 20 years and they were saying the statute of limitations for you to file was 4 years in this case. So I think that's what they're saying.
Okay, I understand. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Persky. So if there's nothing further, I want to thank both parties for appearing today. We will issue a written opinion with 100 days. Thank you, and the record is now closed. And afternoon hearings will start at 1 p.m. Thanks.
Thank you.